Every abandoned building has a story. Some were left behind after disasters, others emptied almost overnight, leaving behind personal belongings, silent hallways, and unanswered questions. What remains today are places where nature is slowly reclaiming what people once called home. From forgotten hospitals and deserted mining towns to crumbling castles and entire cities frozen in time, these locations are more than just abandoned. They're haunting reminders of history. We're counting down 10 of the creepiest abandoned places with dark histories. Some are eerie because of tragedy, others because of the mysteries that still surround them. But every one of them is real. 10 creepiest abandoned places with dark histories. Number 10. Centralia, Pennsylvania. Underground coal mine fire ignited in 1962 and continues to burn beneath the town today. Toxic gases and unstable ground forced nearly every resident to leave. Today, cracked highways vent steam from below, and only a handful of people remain. It's one of America's most famous ghost towns. Most homes and businesses have been demolished, and nearly all residents accepted government buyouts and relocated. Only a handful of occupied properties remain, while empty streets and overgrown lots mark where neighborhoods once stood. Number 9. Hashima Island, Japan. Once packed with thousands of coal miners and their families, Hashima Island became one of the most densely populated places on Earth. When the coal industry collapsed, everyone left almost overnight. Concrete apartment buildings now crumble as the sea slowly reclaims the island. Number 8. Belitz Heilstätten Hospital, Germany. Built as a tuberculosis hospital, this massive medical complex later treated wounded soldiers during both World Wars. Much of the facility now sits abandoned, with corridors, decaying operating rooms, and shattered windows creating an eerie atmosphere. After World War II, the hospital was operated by Soviet military forces for decades. Following German reunification in 1990, many of the buildings became too expensive to maintain and were gradually abandoned. Nature has begun reclaiming the massive complex. Ivy climbs the walls, trees grow between buildings, and long hallways filled with peeling paint and broken windows create an unsettling atmosphere. Number 7. Pripyat, Ukraine. On April 26, 1986, the explosion at Chernobyl's reactor number 4 forced nearly 50,000 residents of Pripyat to evacuate. Decades later, nature has reclaimed much of Pripyat. Trees grow through cracked pavement, wildlife roams empty streets, and apartment buildings slowly crumble under the weight of time. Schools, apartments, and an amusement park remain largely untouched, creating one of the world's most haunting reminders of disaster. Number 6. Bodie, California. Bodie was once a thriving gold rush town in the late 1800s, filled with miners, saloons, and thousands of residents chasing fortune. But as the gold ran out, people began to leave, one by one, until the town was eventually abandoned. Today, Bodie remains frozen in time. Buildings still stand with furniture, tools, and personal items left behind, preserved in a state of arrested decay that makes it feel like the town was suddenly paused. Number 5. Kolmanskop, Namibia. Kolmanskop was once a wealthy diamond mining town in the Namib Desert, known for its grand homes and modern amenities. But when the diamond supply declined, residents quickly left in search of new opportunities. Today, the desert has taken over. Sand drifts through empty houses, filling rooms and hallways, turning the town into a surreal landscape where nature is slowly reclaiming everything. Number 4. Bannerman Castle, New York. Built to store military surplus, the castle suffered explosions and fires before being abandoned. Its dramatic ruins on a small island continue to attract photographers and history enthusiasts. Despite its appearance, Bannerman Castle was never a royal residence or military fort. It was simply an elaborate storage facility built to resemble a Scottish castle. Number 3. Krakow, Italy. Landslides forced residents to leave this medieval hilltop village. Its empty stone streets and towering buildings make it look like a forgotten movie set. Founded over 1,000 years ago, Krakow grew into a thriving farming community with churches, homes, and narrow cobblestone streets. At its peak, hundreds of people lived within its fortified walls. In the 1960s, a series of landslides began damaging homes and making the hillside unstable. Many residents were relocated to safer areas, and by the 1980s, earthquakes had caused even more damage, leaving the town completely abandoned. Number 2. Eastern State Penitentiary, Pennsylvania. Once considered one of the most advanced prisons in the world, Eastern State Penitentiary opened in 1829 with a strict system of isolation meant to reform inmates. Today, the prison sits abandoned, its crumbling cell blocks, rusted bars, and collapsing ceilings creating an unsettling atmosphere. Sunlight barely reaches the dark hallways, while peeling paint and empty cells serve as reminders of the thousands of lives once confined there. Notorious gangster Al Capone was once imprisoned at Eastern State. His cell has since been restored to resemble how it looked during his stay, making it one of the prison's most popular attractions. Today, the empty cell blocks and decaying corridors remain, with peeling paint and long shadows serving as reminders of its unsettling past. Number 1. Chateau Miranda, Belgium. Hidden deep in the Belgian countryside, Chateau Miranda was built in the 19th century as a grand neo-Gothic castle. During the 20th century, it was repurposed as an orphanage, housing children for decades before eventually being abandoned in the late 1900s due to high maintenance costs. After it was left empty, the castle quickly fell into decay. Broken windows, collapsing staircases, and overgrown halls gave it an eerie, almost forgotten atmosphere. Before its demolition, it became one of the most photographed abandoned buildings in Europe, known for its haunting architecture and long-standing reputation as a place frozen between history and ruin. From forgotten towns swallowed by nature to massive buildings left to decay, each of these places shows how quickly human life can disappear from a location. Some were abandoned because of disaster, others because of industry, and some simply because time moved on. But even in their silence, they still tell stories of the people who lived there, worked there, and ultimately left everything behind. If you enjoyed this countdown, tell us which abandoned place was the most unsettling. And subscribe for more real-world mysteries, hidden histories, and places frozen in time.